Cool. It is the 24th of April, 2023, and we're kicking off the Bitcoin Design Guide Jam session. This is jam session number 47. Welcome, everyone. We have Stephen here, we have Rashyaj, and we have Oyekuni. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yes, you did.
Nice.
Oyekunle Abdulhamid. Yeah, did.
Great. Is this your first Design Guide Jam session that you're jumping on?
No, this is my second.
Nice, nice. Welcome. Cool. Um,
Hello.
I've created a little bit of. I'm going to share this here in the channel. I'm going to open it. You guys can all hop in there. You can comment. I'll just share a little bit of the. Cool. Yeah, I'm using the standard format that we use for the jam sessions. We had a mini project proposal which was created by Christoph on kind of how to bucket a few of the tasks that we were talking about. It seems we've slightly kicked off some activities on the savings wallet case study revision. So yeah, I've made some notes about those ones here. And then we can also talk about anything else that you guys would like to talk about as well. So feel free to, yeah, is there anything that you guys would like to talk about that I maybe didn't include in the session for today? You, Yashraj, nothing?
I
Uh,
mean, I can think of maybe a couple of topics if we run out of things to talk about
Stunning.
because I'm not sure how exactly relevant it is, but I think it might be related in some way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What would you like to talk about, Yashraj?
Um, yeah, so I think Dan has a pull request open about like defining a PSBT, and I was reading the BIP by Merch on the BIP, like it's a draft, I think, but I think that is also around like uh, having a common definition of things that we talk about, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and of course we have a big glossary section in
Mm-hmm.
the design guide as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe we could like talk about it a bit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anything else, Yashraj?
Um, yeah. So I think I'll keep it to that for now.
Thank you, Stephen.
Nothing I could think of at the moment.
Yeah, feel free to chime in if I forget anything because I'm going based on what the on the milestone on the roadmap. I'm gonna go ahead and share the roadmap screen here. Let's see, roadmap. Maybe we can start with these ones. I know Stain's pretty much doing some of these ones. He's not on the call. Um, One of these was provide design guidance for purchasing Bitcoin within the wallet. So this one, some wallets will need to integrate buying Bitcoin into the wallet itself. The design guide currently assumes a wallet user will transfer from an exchange. It would be nice to offer some UI guidance for purchasing within the wallet itself, including addressing how to handle selection from multiple entities to buy from and how to display relevant information about each. Cool. So, okay, so Steve's added in some links here. Christoph's added in some as well. So there's a bit of a discussion. Stain asked for this to be assigned to him. Um, Yeah, I think that there is a Yashra just commented here as well.
Yeah, I did. Like it was in hindsight, I feel like it was a really bottom left kind of response. But I was just like thinking out loud. Stain has a really good like a research document that he's got
Here's it.
going
Here's
on. Yeah, that's the one. I think
that's the
that's the one.
here we
It's a
go.
nice dog.
Maybe we can just have a look at this one. Are
Yeah,
you guys able to see this on my screen at the moment? Or am I
Yeah.
not sharing? Oh, let me share this tab instead. Here we go. Is this visible on the
Yes.
cool? So Stain's written a bit of a write up here. I'll go ahead and just share the link as well in the chat. Maybe it's did a little bit of a write up on the on buying Bitcoin on an NCW. Okay, all right. So he's done a little bit of a write up. He's included some references. He's done some research to see how this is done on other interfaces as well. Okay, cool. Does anyone have any comments on this one, or would they like to contribute, or anything like that?
I'm skimming the document right now, but I haven't finished skimming it, so I don't have any
Yeah,
comments.
same.
Yeah, I mean, this is all interesting. I think the pulling in the MetaMask screenshots, at least for like reference, is smart because it's a tool that a lot of people use, even though it's not Bitcoin. It's a lot of people use it.
Yeah,
Um, they've clearly done something right with the onboarding there. Um, I think Ledger, interesting. It's nice. Ledger has a. I did not know that Ledger had a thing.
Stain. Yeah.
Spark Wallet. Oh, interesting. I don't know that I know about Spark Wallet.
yeah. So he's done a little bit of a he's captured the I guess the flow of these different wallets. It seems like um, how to share relevant information. He's done Spark. He's done Luno as well. hmm It feels like without having stayed on this call, it'd be difficult to guess, but feels like his next step would be to make a suggestion based on the what he thinks would be the correct user flow for this one. Um, I'll make a note here just to reach out to Stain on this one. Um, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think that sounds right. It's like the good news about this kind of thing is that there's already been a ton of prior work in this area. In fact, it's probably one of the uh, like easier ones, I would say, just in terms of like it's like it's already been done many times before by like any whether it's an exchange or whether it's a wallet that integrates with an exchange in some way. So it's like we've already got a ton to build off of there.
yeah,
And we probably don't need to like over optimize it too much because I'm sure that if you just like glance at all these, there's some like similar things that they all do that pretty much work. I'd say if I just like philosophize for a moment here, one thing to think about is that like the the just adding like if we take our hypothetical daily spending wallet and add in the ability to uh, um, add in the ability to purchase Bitcoin from it, that's probably a smaller lift. The thing where it starts to get like more complicated is when you start to think about like, well, what if they don't have the user doesn't have a Visa or a MasterCard or
Yeah.
Apple Pay? Do they use somewhere that's blocked from those services? That's not something though that like, we as designers can just solve by making something look nicer, though. That's like a much deeper technical problem, I think.
Hmm.
Um, Certainly work going on with like the Web5 and decentralized identity stack to try and make that happen, TB decks, all of that. But yeah, I mean, just like adding a credit card screen. I guess another kind of thing to think about that I'm kind of not seeing reflected in some of these screenshots would be stuff like KYC. Because like whether we like it or not, we like I think I personally like the idea that the daily spending wallet is this thing that like you can't it's a self-custodial kind of wallet, and it's maybe more private than alternatives, but
Hmm.
once you have the ability to buy Bitcoin in it, if you're doing it through a MasterCard or something, then there's probably some degree of KYC going on. I
Yeah.
mean, I've had services like even Strike wants you to like scan your driver's license, and I'm sure that the exact credentials vary depending on what country you're in, but it's like it's interesting to be in a position where we'd have to put that stuff in the design guide, but if we're being realistic about what buying Bitcoin with a credit card involves, that's what it involves.
Those are some good points, Stephen. I added it in here as well in the notes. I just said reach out to Stain on this one. And what if a user does not have a Visa or a MasterCard, which was one point. And the second one was what do we do about this aspect, the KYC? Is there going to be some degree of KYC going on? Also, a good question as well.
Yeah. So if you can go to my comment in that issue,
Yeah.
um, I have tried to think a bit through that, and yeah, I mean, if we have the time,
Yeah.
I'd share some feedback on that. I think I largely agree with Steven though.
Are you able to see my screen here, Yashraj? I'm sharing my screen.
No, I can't see your screen.
Okay,
You're not sharing.
let me stop sharing. Oh, let me share the roadmap screen again. Cool. Should be visible now. Is that visible on the
Yes, we can see it now. We can see your screen now.
cool. This comment, Yashraj, over here or one that's further up?
Yeah. It was like a quick thing, but I had looked, I think, at like some of the examples.
Customer experience. It might be possible to get for relevant information. Do you want to talk about this one a bit, Yashraj?
Yeah, a little bit actually. So
Mm-hmm.
because I noticed that like in some of the examples that we have,
Mm-hmm.
uh, one of the first filters is like the payment method you want to choose.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you go to the examples, you like see that, and I think that is a good choice in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I also felt like the initial filter could be optimized, like depending on depending on the specific wallet,
Mm-hmm.
because like I can think of like scenarios where I'd be happy to change my payment method if like some other option was cheaper, or if I wanted to use a payment method that I don't usually use it,
Yeah.
but if that is the initial filter, like so that just filters out everything else. That's like one insight like I thought I had,
Mm-hmm.
and also had like this idea about thinking about how many options are there. I mean, because I was
Mm-hmm.
thinking, oh, we could have so many filters, we could have like recommendations if we have a lot of options, but then I think someone talked about like how many options are we likely to have, like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
if we only have three or four or five of them, like we don't even need a lot of like extra design work, like like Steven was like saying that
Mm-hmm.
we we already have a bunch of implementations that are already doing it.
Yeah.
So maybe we don't even need an initial filter, right? And that filter can be your country of residence. It
Mm-hmm.
can be the payment method, like like basic things like that. But it could also be like the lowest fees, like maybe maybe some wallet could give the option to choose that initial filter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just had a couple of thoughts around that. Anybody have any thoughts? I'd like some feedback on that, but I was not sure how good of a response like it was in hindsight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks for commenting, Yashraj. I made some notes here as well in the design guide jam session doc. I'll make a note to reach out to Stain on this one as well. Um, it's good that we're commenting and continuing the discussion. This one here, yeah, this was what I created a while back. This is adding in content about how to contribute a case study, the Bitcoin Design Guide. I've I created a Google document right up on this one, um, which let me just see. I added in a guidelines document which I created here, um, and then we discussed kind of if anyone wants to contribute case studies to the design guide, providing them a little bit of a guide on how to think through the format of the case study. I know Yashraj and I used this one with payjoins, and then we use this very loosely, but we started off as this having a bit of a. And I know then Stephen had a comment on this one in terms of can we add in a case study list of questions as well, which I then created based off of the suggestion of Stephen. So Stephen said, why don't you just create a list of questions? Um, So yeah, this at the moment lives in a Google document. I think an action point would be to share this with the community and maybe get some feedback on the content, because at the moment it's kind of living in GitHub at the moment. So I will put that on my to-do list. Share with community feedback. And if you guys want to jump in there as well, please feel free. To jump in and comment on that one. Um, I think I'll get some feedback on that one and then um, make some iterations and yeah, just move that one forward a bit.
I'll give it a read.
Cool. What's next? Actually, let me close. I have so many tabs open here. just bear with me. Okay, let's see. Which tab? Okay, cool. This next one is my screen still visible with the roadmap at the moment?
Nope.
Let me have a look here. Let's see. Let me share the roadmap screen again.
Yay.
There's this one here as well. Explore and document how to handle send
Yo,
fees. So when a customer sends Bitcoin to another wallet, fees can be included within the amount you want to send or on top of the amount. There's some slight nuances that create a bad experience. This request is to explore and document what the different alternatives are. This is a really good one. The fees aspect. I see Yashraj commented as well. Um, Factor in the considerations to our scenarios. Okay, Stain commented, thank you. Probably he started on the write up for this one. I'm not sure, but maybe it's not being added in here yet.
Yeah, there is a Google Doc
Is there a Google Doc? Do you know?
somewhere.
Do you know where that document is? I think
Um,
he included it in the Slack channel. Um,
yeah, I think it did, and I can try and find it if I can.
yeah, just pop it in here. We can add it to this issue as well, so that it keeps everything in one place. Any comments on this one, guys?
Not a lot at the moment. Have to kind of see what he wants to produce there. Um, I think with on chain, I think it's a little bit more straightforward. It's Lightning where fees start to get a little bit complicated for the user. I think.
Yeah.
Um, 'Cause you have this whole concept where under the hood it's like you have to route through all these different nodes to get your payment to its destination, and it's like your node basically has to keep trying the payment over and over again um, until it gets like accepted, and every node along the path is going to have a different fee rate, and it's like you don't know which path is going to work until you try it and it fails, and then you try
Right.
another one. So uh, yeah, there's definitely can use some work there. I think specifically focusing on like lightning fees. That's where I think the big problem is.
Yeah, I agree with you on this one. There's this. I think having more transparency around the lightning fees at the moment that the person is sending would be a really really good thing to add to the guide. I was just looking up for the link because he
Yeah,
shared it with.
so I just put a link to a Google document that I found, and I think
Oh,
it's linking out to this one. But I'm not like I don't think this is the document that I saw initially. So like this one says second draft, so maybe he like redrafted it. But I feel like I had given him a bunch of feedback around that, and I think my basic feedback was the same thing that Steven just said, that if it's on chain, it's not really an issue,
yeah,
because I think this was centered around sending the total available balance, one, and second, like making a payment where the payment plus fees is greater than my balance. So I think these were like the two issues this was trying to tackle.
Um, if you're looking for the first draft, I noticed in this document there's something labeled first draft that's like a page down.
yeah.
Oh,
So let's have a look.
okay.
Let's have a scroll here. Oh, it's 10 pages. Okay, let's see. So he's done some competitive research again, looking at how those are done in Coinbase, in OKX, in Ledger. Okay, and then there's a link probably somewhere here. So this is the second draft, I guess. Yeah, oh, here's the first draft. So he broke the first draft up and the second draft up into two documents. Okay.
So I don't know if I can contribute. Also, I tried checking the link you sent earlier. Um, one of the reference, the Spark wallet. Hello, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
So in the Spark wallet, I noticed that as a UX designer, I don't think using a pure black as a background and white text actually works well. Using something of lower lower intensity should work well while choosing colors like that. If you don't use a pure black and something like white, so that kind of reference shouldn't work like that. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
No, I don't know if you or if you did you comment maybe in the Google document or the quality of the sound wasn't that clear. I don't know if anyone else had that as well.
Yeah, I think I was able to make out some of it. So maybe he was saying that like in the Spark wallet, he noticed that it's like a black background and there's complete white text on it, and I'm not sure if it's related to this one or something else. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So he's come up with a second draft. So he's received some feedback on the first draft. I guess the next step would be to look through the second draft as well and add some comments and give some feedback. Um, I
Yeah,
will,
yeah, sure. Got what I was saying earlier. That
yes,
was what I was trying to say
yeah, the
earlier.
second one.
I
Mhm.
don't know. You guys are not. You're not already in the second design. I thought you guys are already there. So that was why I gave review on that. I was just trying to contribute on that also.
Oh, so your comment was on the second draft.
Yeah, it was on the second draft.
Okay, cool. What I'll do is I will just add in the draft to the issue here, just so that it is here, so that everyone can also comment on this one. I'll add in this here and I'll comment. Cool. So yeah. So we have those ones here. We have those three. I will just assign this one. Oh, I'll have to get Christoph to assign this one to me, adding the guidelines. These ones have no milestones, but there was one more over here that the Christoph refreshed the projects page. I will just share my tab on that one. So there was a refresh to the projects page. Projects page on the website could do with a refresher before opening a PR. I'd like to gather some changes to make. Here's a starting point. So this one was around adding in the different projects, the research toolkit, when to taproot, wallet scrutiny. We've been collaborating with them for some time now. So this is the projects page here that Christoph is referring to here. So this is the one with all of the projects and all of the collaborations. Um, and then he'd like to update projects as well as Bitcoin Core app, change that to Bitcoin Core.app, as well as remove projects such as Bitcoin Design Sprints. We've stopped doing that one, as well as Hello Bitcoin, which has come to a bit of a halt. Some questions that Christoph had was, should we add Bolt 12 and async payments project? That's one for you, I guess, Stephen. I think you're the
Oh
one.
yeah.
Yeah. We share this one in the. Should we add Bolt 12 and async payments? Should we add BTG wallet? A question for Daniel. And Fetterman started on design calls. Should we wait and add this one or wait until there's more momentum? He's sure he's things he's missed. Reply in comments with your thoughts. So it's not meant to be super precise, but just adding in, stuff about what's going on. So Daniel replied on he'd like to wait a bit with BDG. Um, I don't know if you guys have any comments on this one.
Uh, yeah, Bitcoin research kit, yeah, Win Taproot, yeah, wallet scrutiny, saving Satoshi, summer Bitcoin, all sounds good. Updated projects, join market, yeah, Bitcoin Core app, yeah. Bitcoin design sprints, yeah, that probably needs to go. Hello Bitcoin, yeah, that's kind of that one. I'm not sure what, but we haven't had any new scripts for that one from Matt. So Hello Bitcoin's good to go. Yeah, I would like to add Bolt 12 and async payments. Daniel's not ready to add BDG, then that makes sense. He's kind of the main person behind that. Fediment, yeah, I would agree. Let's wait and see that there's actually some designers working on it. Having said that, maybe it's a catch-22. Maybe it's like you got to add it to the projects page for people to, feel like they can, it's on
Contribute, yeah.
notice it. But I could go either way on that one. But yeah, Bolt 12 and async we should. I can't think of any other like projects though that are going on at the moment.
Yeah, I added in a note here just that it's okay with you to add in the Bolt 12 one um, on this one. Cool. Yeah, I think Christoph has already kind of, I think he might have already pushed this live. I think I remember seeing, not yet. I think there was a preview of this one. I do remember seeing it last week. There is a preview somewhere of this one. Um, yeah, cool. So that's that one. I'll stop sharing this tab now. Um, the send fees we discussed, reach out to stay, projects page. And then Yashraj's one. Pull request open for defining a PSBT. Do you want to talk about that one, Yashraj?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, sure. I mean, I think Dan and I were like initially talking about it when we felt that the existing definition was not the best that we could have,
Mm-hmm.
and so Dan opened a pull request with like what he thinks, and I felt like I'm not sure I agreed with what he thought either, right? I mean, just to give a little context, PSBT is like a transaction format that is like developed uh, because it was initially developed for multisig, and basically where you have to move a transaction around and it gets like signed on the way, or like some maybe multiple parties have to sign it, or maybe you want to send a transaction but you have to sign it with your external signer, and so like that's the context around it. Of course, it's also used in a payjoin where the sender constructs a draft and sends to the receiver, and then he signs it, then the sender gets it back, he takes a look, and then the sender signs it, and then they broadcast the transaction, right? So we have a bunch of PSBTs going around.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the context for this one.
Do you want to share maybe a link to the issue in the messages?
Oh,
Um,
oh yeah, sure. I just a second.
I
okay.
think Stephen found it already.
Okay, yeah,
We talk about Dan's PR.
yes.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Mhm. Yeah, and yeah, so maybe take a look at it, and then I can like discuss thoughts, or if you have any thoughts.
So this is currently what's in the guide is what's red, and then the green is what's being suggested.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So files
Uh,
format for. Go ahead. Go ahead. Stephen.
and I think I put you the link to the files change tab if you want to see the conversation. There's also the conversation.
PTS was born to solve the multi-sig problem, but now, especially after PTSB2, its use has expanded to facilitate all types of transactions. I'd rather see it described as a data format or a Bitcoin standard than a file format. The situations where PTSB are serialized to a file system represent only a fraction of the use. It may help to explain that in contrast to PSBT, a consensus transaction only has data necessary to perform validation, including only references to look up to inputs earlier in the blockchain, while a PSBT may have complete input formation rather than just those reference points. I see PSBTs as a scaffolding with which interactive parties may come to agree on a consensus to transaction to a broadcast. Okay. So he sees PSBTs as a way to reach consensus. Okay, all right. And then Yashar also commented here as well. And then you guys suggested some changes to the guide. So this has pretty much been okay. And Christoph's commented as well. How about first stating what it is, a data format, okay, before they are broadcast? Okay, so there's a bit of a discussion around this. All right, so some comments, some discussions, and that's where it is here. Is this ready for a final review or are you still working on changes? I guess that one's for you guys, Yashraj. Do you guys want you looking for a final review or you still working on the changes?
Yeah, I mean, I have provided like my suggestions to that, and I think Dan and Christoph, Christoph also has. So I'm just seeing like what happens next on the issue.
Cool. So you see, you feel this one's good for a final review then?
Pro, maybe, but then maybe not, because like I haven't seen a new revision of the definition come from Dan. So
Okay. So
yeah,
this one is basically. Let me just add a note here.
yeah,
Reach out to Dan. Let me add a note here. Or would you like to reach out to Dan?
yeah, sure. I'll reach out to him.
Okay. I'll just say Yashraj will reach out to Dan to get some feedback on the final, which was it, the definition.
Yeah,
Cool. And then I'll add in the link, final definition. Mm. You guys made some. I'm just trying to get that tab open again. Here we go. So at least one review is required for this. Okay, so it's basically adding in one more review and then define that definition over there to just get some feedback from Dan. Any comments on this one, guys?
No, this is one of those rare PRs where I'm just having difficulty following what's being discussed.
Yeah, I'm also having a little bit. This is the discussion, and then there was some files changed. So the files, maybe if we look at the files changed,
yeah. Is there anything you guys feel that I could like tell you guys to help you get a better context around this one?
go ahead, Yashraj. Go, feel
No,
free.
no, like I just like if there is some context that I can provide, so maybe it can like help you understand this one better, maybe.
I just don't understand like what the debate. I don't really understand the conversation going on. Like, I
Same
get
here,
that.
I don't really understand the issue of PTSD.
I don't understand what the disagreement is between Dan, Yashraj, or Christoph. I genuinely, I don't know
Okay.
why. I don't
Yeah,
understand what's being
that
discussed.
no, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I guess like if you look at the existing definition, it says payjoin. It's a type of coin join transaction for, sorry, it is a type of coin join for direct transaction, and like
Mm-hmm.
oh, sorry, I'm just looking at the wrong one. PSBT, where did that go? Yeah, um, just a second. Yeah, okay, so it's, yeah, and so if you like read the existing definition of a PSBT, it says that it's a file format for Bitcoin transactions that are not fully signed yet, and like something like that. And uh, my initial issue with the definition was that that in many cases, and in my opinion, in the majority of the cases, when we are referring to a PSBT, we are not referring to the format itself. We are like referring to a partially signed transaction, like an instantiation of the format.
Mm.
And the glossary definition says that it's a format. So I just felt like from like a designer perspective, or like from a regular guy perspective, like PSBT, we are talking about the transaction data, or like transaction file, whatever you want to call it.
If I
Okay,
Oh,
can ask,
so it sounds
I'm
it
so
sounds like you're
sorry.
saying that like a PSBT, like it is a file format, but when we refer to it in the context of like I'm going to do a multi-sig transaction or something between a couple of different parties, like we're passing around a PSBT, like it's like our PSBT. It's like we're um, there's a difference between like a PSBT as like a concept versus like a PSBT as like um, a thing that I use when I'm doing this transaction. Is that kind of right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
all right. And you've also changed the word here. Like I'm seeing that this is kind of the definition part of it. So the initial definition is it's a portable transaction data format which enables discrete participants to contribute to a single transaction. For example, PTSB facilitates contribution from both software and hardware in a multi-signature and between the sender and recipient. And then the suggestion here is a portable transaction data format that enables multiple participants, which was Dan's comment as well, to
Mhm.
contribute to
Yeah.
the
So
flow. Go ahead, Yashraj.
sorry.
So how
Yeah. Yeah.
does it
So
work?
you are you saying something?
No, no, not at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. So I just like tried to improve his definition because I think dance definition is yes, like, but it's like a more technically accurate one. But I don't understand it when I like read it. So but I'm sure like it's the like it's technically the right definition, but I just felt like, and this was my like initial comment, like around like agreeing on these definitions, and like in the context of the Bitcoin design guide, like maybe using a definition, and I think we have already done a good job of that overall,
Mhm,
is that like maybe a more practical definition, even though it might not be like
mhm.
exactly the right
And Christoph's comment is before we jump into the definition, before we jump into to how it works, is to jump into what it is. The sentence goes straight away into use cases. How about first stating what it is? So a data format for transaction broadcast. Um,
What
Kanya, your sound is a little bit yeah. Um, So give a little bit of a definition. And Dan said that he likes the suggestion about starting with a what. So first stating what it is, and then give a little bit of a definition of what it is, a data format for transactions before they're broadcast. Then Dan says, yeah, good idea. And then, so basically, there was a suggestion from Christoph that says, how about first starting with the what? So it feels like there's a little bit of a what to be added in here, um, on
one.
top of this
Yeah.
one, if I understand correctly.
Yes, yes, yes. That's right. Because I think now there is like an update to the format itself, and it's called PSBT2. I'm not sure what the changes are, but I think Dan and Christoph are talking about like incorporating examples as to what the new use cases are that are covered, but at the same time, first like first like defining the term itself.
So it would almost look something like this. So something like you would almost start first with the what it is, just it's almost a broad definition that you're starting with, and then you're narrowing it down. Feels a bit like that because this is a bit a data format for transactions before they broadcast, and then this is
Yeah.
narrowing down the definition.
Mhm. Yes, yes, yeah. So I think the way that I'd structure it is like give say that yeah, it is like a undersigned transaction, and it can be passed around so that all the signatures that are like required on it can be signed. And the second thing you can say that like yeah, the the format of such a transaction is also called a PSBT. Like that is how it like came about. And then third, we could like go into the examples.
Yeah. So this is it's just adding a little bit of a broader definition to give people a little bit of a bit of a lead in before they actually read this part over here. Is it okay if I leave that
Yeah,
one with you, Yashraj?
yeah, sure.
I won't comment here or anything, but I just did that to kind of
Yeah,
anything you want
but
to.
like I felt like Steven instantly got what I was like trying to say. But like I didn't get if he agreed with me, or if he had like other ideas about that, other thoughts about that.
Not really. I mean, I don't know if I would agree. It's like I I may not have understood, but I think there's like it's just kind of like a semantic thing. It's like, am I like, am I going to explain to you what the concept of a keyboard is, or am I going to talk about my keyboard? Like, like I can talk about my keyboard, and I can talk about conceptually what a keyboard is, and like, I mean, I think you can intuit from the definition of what a keyboard is that it could also be my keyboard. So I don't know. I personally, in my opinion, I think we're spending too much time on this
Yeah.
paragraph. To be blunt, I think, but I do agree that, like, yeah, from like what you and Christoph are saying, maybe make it a little more Dan's definition a little easier for people. So my kind of final comment on the matter is maybe just update it to have some stuff that's like. For example, you could use this for a multi-sig wallet. But also things like payjoins and Lightning use this, kind of under the hood. So there's a variety of different ways you could use PSBTs. Here's some examples, maybe. That would be
Yeah.
my thoughts on the matter.
Yeah. Cool. We'll continue again. Let's see what else is in the roadmap here. I'll share this tab over here as well. So we got a couple ones under no milestone. We have a few minutes we can discuss those ones. We have Stephen here. Do you want to chat about the merchant one, Stephen?
There was a merchant one.
Fiat over Lightning.
Oh, no, nothing's changed since last time. I'm sorry, I've not been, if someone else is like super passionate and wants to take that one on, then they can do it. Otherwise, I'll get to it when I get. Oh shit, I just messed something up. Whoops, my bad. I was just accidentally messed up your document. Yeah, I'd have nothing to add on that. I've been really just, in terms of my open source time, I've been focusing it more on the Bolt 12 project lately. So I would like to get the Fiat over Lightning thing done, just so I can call it that one article done. It just hasn't been a priority for me the past week or two.
Yeah. It's quite a bit. You've done quite a bit on this one already. It's. Where do you think it is in terms of like? Is it pretty much just like reviewing the content kind of thing?
And honestly, it's been like 3 months since I looked at it, so I just
Yeah.
don't know.
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
Yeah. No. No worries. No worries. All right. So let's see. Let's go back to the milestones again. All right. What else do we have? Let me share this one. The roadmap. Yeah, I think there was a new header image for the recovery as well. Recovery header image. I did a bit of a sketch. And this one was being worked on by the students as well. I do believe that there is an image that's being created for this one. I think
Yep.
it's been filed as an issue. It's just not linked in here.
Pragya has opened up 2 PRs for header images, and Christoph and I have been leaving feedback and all that. I think I just saw like late last week. I think they added. Uh, they completed all the changes. They just need help with one final thing, so I just need to jump in there and help them get the PR over the finish line.
Yeah. Do you want to maybe, Stephen, could you add the links to the PRs? I'll add them in here under this milestone. Um, then it's kind of updated a little bit. If you can shoot those over, it doesn't matter if you can shoot them over now
I'm in the chat here.
or in the chat. So those are pretty much, I think, wrapped up. Then the images, the new header image here. Yeah. Oh, you've added it in. Cool. Let me add these ones in. Copy link. Um, Let me just say add in links to where these are being worked on. One and link to, so this one. And I will add in the second one. Cool. So that's at least that is updated in the guide. Adding in links. Okay. And that's it. I think we can leave those for now. We only have 5 minutes left. I don't know if there's anything that anyone else would like to chat about, or we can slowly look to wrapping it up. I made some notes here. Um,
We
go.
never we never said the O word.
Sorry.
We never said the O word.
The ordinals. Yeah, I had ordinals in here as well because that one was also something I wanted to chat about as well because that was also in this savings wallet case study revision is adding in ordinals. What do you
Somebody's adding ordinals to the savings wallet case study.
Yeah, well, there's a comment here from Christoph. I think this is Christoph saying makes more sense to add it in since it's on chain.
No.
Was that the O that you were referring to, Stephen?
Well, there's two. The word appears in the document in two places.
No, Stephen, you have two places. Ordinals.
No, it's up at the top too, sandwiched in between explore document how to handle send fees and the one above that. Doesn't matter. I'm just
Oh, Stephen. Okay. So I added in some notes here about what you guys commented. What if a user does not have a Visa or Mastercard? KYC, what do we do about this aspect if there's going to be some degree of KYC going on? This was a comment from Yashraj adding in a payment method filter. Another comment from Yashraj is how many options do we need to provide? So I'll reach out to Stain on this one. There's the ordinals one as well. Any thoughts on that one, guys, with regards to the ordinals?
yeah. I mean, I guess I guess I'd be more interested in hearing arguments for why they should be in the guide.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's sort of one of those things where sorry, I'll stop highlighting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of one of those things where I feel like I don't want to waste my time like talking about why they shouldn't be. I'd rather just hear about why they should be in the guide.
Cool. And I think with that we can pretty much wrap it up, guys. Or is there anything that you guys would like to chat about? No? All right. Cool. Yashraj, I will leave the PSBT definition to you and I forget his name. Dan, to you and Dan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry for like talking too much about it, but
No,
like sometimes we like go in this zone where like, bro, but what's the definition, bro? You know.
it is a payjoin's passion that you have, so I can't blame you. But thanks everyone for jumping on to the to the session, and see you guys on the next um, jam
How
session.
does, please, if I can ask a question, how does PSBT actually works?
Sorry, how does
PSBT actually work?
PS?
BT.
Yeah, that maybe we can send you over a link to how that works. You want to know a little bit more about how PSBT works?
Yes. Okay, yes, I want to. Hello, can you hear me? Said I want to. I want to
Yes,
know
was
more.
that the one?
Yes.
Cool. I can look for a nice definition for it online, and then I can shoot that over to you. Are you on the Bitcoin Discord as well?
Yes, I'm on the Discord server.
All right, cool. I'll look you up and I'll send over a link to a definition.
When is the proposal review starting?
Sorry?
When is the proposal review starting for the US Satoshi wallet?
I'm sorry, the audio is just not so clear for me.
Okay, I think it would be better if you, why don't we
Yeah.
take this into the Bitcoin Design Discord? If you have some questions, we'd be
Yeah.
happy to answer them there.
I think that might be a good one. I'll just shoot you a message on Discord, okay, and we can continue the conversation there. All right. That's it. It's a wrap. Thanks, guys, for joining, and see you on the next one. Bye
Well,
bye.
thanks for, catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.